If your money has started to feel more stable lately, not perfect, just quieter, you might have noticed something subtle happening. Nothing dramatic. No big financial mistake. But somehow it can start to feel like you're slowly falling behind again. Today I want to show you what quietly disrupts stable finances, and why most people don't notice it until much later. When people imagine financial problems returning, they picture something obvious. A job loss, a major emergency, a big unexpected bill. But for most people who have already worked hard to stabilize their finances, that's not what happens. What actually disrupts stability is usually much quieter. Small changes in spending, small changes in habits, small changes in attention. Nothing feels serious on its own. But over time, those small shifts slowly begin to pull the system off course. One of the biggest disruptions to stable finances isn't a bad decision. Something much simpler. People slowly stop using the system that helped them succeed in the first place. When money was stressful, they were paying attention. They tracked things more closely. They noticed changes quickly. They stayed aware of where their money was going. But once things start feeling calmer, that attention naturally relaxes. Not because they're careless, because life feels normal again. And that's when the system quietly starts slipping. Here's something important to understand. Most financial systems don't fail because they were bad systems. They fail because people gradually stop using them. Maybe the spending outline stops getting updated. Maybe savings contributions slow down. Maybe small price increases get ignored for a while. Individually, none of those things feel important, but together they slowly reduce the margin that was protecting your stability. And once that margin gets thin enough, it starts to feel like progress is disappearing. This doesn't happen because someone is irresponsible. In fact, it usually happens to people who were disciplined enough to build stability in the first place. Problem is that stability changes how things feel. When money is chaotic, every decision feels urgent. When money is calm, everything feels safe. And because things feel safe, it becomes easier to overlook the small adjustments that keep stability working. Protecting financial stability usually doesn't require major changes. Simply requires continuing the habits that created the stability. Not perfectly, but consistently. That means continuing to notice changes in spending, continuing to protect your margin, and continuing to use the system that helped you get here in the first place. Because stability doesn't disappear suddenly. It usually fades slowly when the system that supported it stops being used. If things ever start to feel like they're slipping again, it doesn't always mean your finances are falling apart. Often it simply means something small in the system needs your attention again. Financial calm isn't something you achieve once. Something you quietly protect over time. This is another step toward financial calm, not by doing more, but by understanding what stability really needs to last. The next step in this series isn't live yet. So if you want to understand where financial calm actually begins, start with the first video in this playlist. And subscribe so you'll know when the next step goes live.